Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on how to earn a livable wage. So how do you earn a livable wage, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. At this juncture, at this confluence of time and space in the digital era, a livable wage is at least a mean net wage of $122 per hour. That's how much you would need to earn over the course of 2 decades, 20 years, or 1/5 of a century from working full-time to be able to maintain a mediocre standard of living post-retiring. You would need to have been able to save and subsequently invest at least $3,600,000 in the equities market in stocks that bear 2% dividend yields to be able to have $6,000 in dividend payouts per month or $72,000 in dividend payouts annually post-retiring after 20 years elapsed. You want to be able to earn a livable wage so that after working for 41,600 hours or 2,080 hours per year over the course of 80 years for a grand total of 41,600 hours, you'll be able to afford to retire and maintain a mediocre standard of living post-retiring. So earning a livable wage entails working in the capacity of an executive. If you can get past the gatekeepers of opportunity, they will furnish you with a position as an executive at a company. If you join the upper echelon of the corporate hierarchy, then you will more than likely be provided with a livable wage. CEOs also are able to receive salaries that exceed livable wages. So if you become a CEO, the chief executive officer of a highly profitable, highly lucrative company, then you can also earn far more than just a livable wage. Executives also typically earn far more than a livable wage. But how do you earn a livable wage without being employed to any company? Well, you need to be profoundly successful as an entrepreneur so that you can at least earn a mean net wage of $122 per hour over the course of your career. How do you earn revenue as an entrepreneur, you may ask? Well, as an entrepreneur, your income is unfettered. It is uncapped. There's no class ceiling to how much you can earn. Your earnings potential is limitless. As an entrepreneur, you should hone in on creating income-generating assets and growing behemoth brands. Income-generating assets can be in the form of videos, archived live stream broadcasts, songs, podcast episodes, audiobooks, ebooks, custom-made print-on-demand merchandise, online courses, software applications, mobile games, customizable templates, and of course, photos. You want your intellectual properties to serve as your income-generating assets. You want them to generate enough revenue as an aggregate to offset your recurring expenses. You do not want to have your income be tethered to your time. Your time is precious, sacrosanct, indispensable, and finite. You want to be able to efficaciously, prudently, shrewdly allocate your time and not needlessly squander it. Do not needlessly expend it. So, earning a livable wage can entail becoming profoundly successful as an entrepreneur and having your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate generate enough net income so that you're earning at least $253,000 annually, which is slightly over $250,000. You need to be able to produce viral-worthy content and viral-worthy products so that you're more apt to attain extreme wealth as an entrepreneur. If you can attain extreme wealth as an entrepreneur, then you could earn far more revenue than even a livable wage. However, if you are partially successful as an entrepreneur, it is still possible to meet the threshold to qualify to earn a livable wage. The content that you produce should be engagement-worthy, viral-worthy, share-worthy, like-worthy, and of course, algorithm recommendation-worthy. It should be apt to yield high engagement rates, high watch times, high audience retention rates, and high viewership rates. You want your content to be able to rapidly build traction and transcend into becoming viral content so that you can preferably, ideally, earn far more than just a livable wage. You want to be able to cultivate behemoth brands and utilize your behemoth brands as marketing vehicles to vector your target market to your product pages where they can procure your product offerings from. Your content and your products should be able to satisfy an unmet need among your target market. They should be able to assuage your target market's needs. You should compete in niche product markets, and you should compete in niche user-generated content markets. You should work strategically hard for at least 14 to 18 hours per day in order to have a modicum of a chance to grow your market share and become a dominant market competitor in the markets that you compete in. You want to be able to differentiate your brand from competitor brands. You want to be able to create meritorious, worthwhile content as well as stellar products. You want to be able to implement the utmost optimal search engine optimization practices so that your content and products are rendered all the more discoverable and are not relegated to the bowels of search engines. If people cannot discover your content nor your products, then it will not allow you to make inroads towards becoming profoundly successful as an entrepreneur. If your content does not populate on social media platforms, if the algorithms are not recommended it, then do not expect to earn views. And if people cannot find your digital products online, then do not expect to be able to earn any sales in spite of how meritorious your products may be. Content that is more apt to go viral is typically compelling, enthralling, comedic content. It typically offers unprecedented value to the target market. It typically has a novel premise that has never been actualized in video form. People love challenge videos, they love parody videos, they love music videos. There's a myriad of disparate types of video genres that people love to watch. Videos go viral because people not only love to bask in watching them for a prolonged period of time, but are also inclined to share them with their friends, family members, and networks. So, do everything in your purview to distinguish your videos from the pack, metaphorically speaking. Do everything in your purview to attain competitive advantages. Do everything in your purview to build a behemoth of a brand across a multitude of popular social media platforms. Disseminate your content across a copious amount of disparate social media platforms. And render your content novel, meritorious, indelible, worthwhile, and mesmerizing. Do not be a copycat brand. Distinguish yourself among competitors. You should differentiate your brand from competitor brands in every facet. And make sure that your products are not run-of-the-mill generic products. Make sure that they're able to satisfy an unmet need among your target market. Make sure that they can assuage an unmet need and exceed customer expectations. You want to be able to secure the lucrative lifetime values of customers. You want to be able to cultivate brand growth. You want to be able to attain substantial brand recognition. You want to be able to foster strong brand loyalty. You want to be able to attain robust brand equity. So, work strategically hard for 14 to 18 hours per day, 7 days a week, for 3 to 15 years consecutively at least, to make an earnest attempt to become profoundly successful enough as an entrepreneur so that you can at least earn a net wage of $122 per hour. There's no guarantee that you'll reach that pinnacle, that Venus, that milestone, that apex, but you can make an earnest, valiant attempt to do so. Even if you come close to the threshold, that's still better than working for an employer at minimum wage. So, there are disparate approaches that you can undergo to earn a livable wage. How will you be successful? I do not know. That is enigmatic, and that's for you to decide. Entrepreneurs who work as content creators, for instance, are able to earn sponsorship revenue, advertising revenue, product placement revenue, affiliate marketing revenue, donations, and of course, subscription revenue. So, hopefully your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate can furnish you with enough revenue so that you meet the threshold to qualify to at least earn a livable wage. At this juncture, a livable wage is around $254,000. Slightly over $250,000. The cost of living is exorbitant, is preordained to amplify to an unprecedented height, and it's arduous to sustain yourself, especially if you compete in highly competitive user-generated content markets and highly competitive niche product markets. So, do everything in your purview to grow behemoth brands on social media websites. It is possible to attain extreme fame, leverage, and subsequently generate extreme wealth. If you can become profoundly successful as an entrepreneur, then you're not limited to just earning a livable wage, but you can earn far more than a livable wage. If you could attain a position as an executive, then you can even exceed the threshold to earn a livable wage. A livable wage, as I stated earlier, is at least a mean net wage of $122 per hour, and you can satisfy that requirement you could satisfy that criterion of being able to earn a livable wage if you are successful as an entrepreneur to the extent in which you can earn at least $122 per hour, or if you are able to attain an executive position that furnishes you with a salary of at least $254,000 per year. How much will you gross? How much will you net? I do not know. The future is enigmatic and obscure beyond a veil of time. Do everything in your purview to build behemoth brands and expand your content reservoir so that you can build your recurring revenue streams and hopefully be able to generate extreme wealth. Thanks for watching. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.